Let's bring in
That's
Trysta
it. They
Krick.
got that right. They nailed it. It's perfect. The Spurs thing, I disagree with you guys. That's trash. And
I don't
that
think
thing
it's
right
trash.
there, that Rockets thing, oh, that's garbage.
No, this is garbage. Did you see the Rockets liftoff thing last night?
No.
Okay, so you gotta. Oh, we closed the video already. So the Rockets, like, they do this thing, and it looks like it was hastily planned because the PR person is grabbing Kevin Durant after he hits that dagger against Phoenix, and it's telling him, "Hey, you got to go over here and lift off the rocket or whatever." You're like, what? He's looking at this lady like, what? This? And like, yeah, press the button. So he presses the button and a bunch of smoke comes out of the scoreboard, and it's their new tradition. Here it is for those that are watching. So the PR lady is telling him, and he's like, this is this. I press it. And he looks up. He's like, oh, okay, now what? Now what do I do?
Did I break something?
Like what? And KD still looking. Again, Kevin Durant, the worst person to have do this because he doesn't give a crap. You're like, oh, okay. Got it.
This is garbage.
Hey, man.
It's garbage.
That's trash. That's so bad.
It's just a fake, like very tacky impersonation of the beam.
They all are TK. Well, there's only 2 right now. But yeah, the Spurs one is 2.
I
don't like the drum.
I don't hate the Spurs.
Let's go to the locker
room. Wemby looked like he was having fun too. And
he did.
The one that I saw, he looked like he was having fun.
Go to the locker. You got the win. Go to the locker room, bro. Dap each other up. All right.
Bro, we press a button to light a purple light in the sky.
We did it first. These orchestrated gimmicks that are clearly copying the beam. Like I said, King's got a lot of things. They get everything.
There are people
they get it all wrong, but they got that right, and people are copying it.
Yeah, I agree. I like the light in the sky versus in the actual arena.
That's the other aspect of
it. Yeah.
It's like we need like a bat signal. What would be dope is like the Spurs or whatever, or the H in the sky.
Well, put a coyote up there. That's their mascot, the coyote, or churro.
Don't put a churro up
there. That's Charles Barkley.
Don't take advice from Charles Barkley. Don't put a churro up there.
It's that little pitchfork thing. It's not a churro.
Ooh.
The Spurs.
No, he makes jokes about churros and the big women in San Antonio.
Well, I don't know
put either
about
one
all
of those in the sky.
Charles,
Charles needs to stop fat shaming because our man went on a semi-glutide or a terzipatide or some sort of GLP-1. You could tell right before he made that switch, before TNT and ESPN moved over, because you could tell he's been struggling with weight after his career has been over, and he's taken the shot. So he needs to stop playing with the San Antonio women.
Look, there's nothing wrong with taking the shot.
Nothing. Zero wrong. Nothing. But you can't fat shame others.
Don't do
Don't be fat shaming nobody.
Don't do that.
The strokes for different folks.
No, there's nothing. I actually encourage anyone who is struggling with their blood sugar or any sort of weight, if you can get it, if you have access to it, your insurance will pay for it, or you can afford it. And you can get something that's like not at a compounding pharmacy, and you can tolerate the injection. I advocate everyone to do it.
That's what I always said about HGH. If you can get it, go ahead.
Listen!
Be healthy.
Yeah.
And healthy looks different for different people. Mm-hmm. Healthy is very slim on some people. Healthy is nice and thick on somebody else. Some people are nice and thick and they get super skinny, but they're not healthy because of what they had to do to get there.
Yeah.
I just want everybody to be healthy.
My thing is like with Lizzo. And it's like Lizzo was all about the body positivity. I want to be this size, until she realized she could get a shot. And she was like, actually, dog, I'd rather be 100 pounds less. I just was lying. Like I was just saying it because I didn't think I could get smaller. That is crazy.
To Kenny's point, though, body positivity is cool, but there's no way Lizzo was healthy.
Right.
Like she couldn't possibly.
You can't walk up a flight of stairs, Lizzo.
Yeah, right. Like you can't. Yeah, be healthy.
There are people, and I feel like there are people that are the size Lizzo was that are healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's my girl's name at Iowa State?
Yeah.
Like I don't think she's unhealthy. She can't be unhealthy in doing the things that she does.
Well, I worry about the insides though.
True.
Yeah, I worry about the insides.
True. They can't stop her though.
No, they can't. No, she gonna get.
Baylor
she gonna get
did.
40. She
Yeah,
gonna get
stop.
40.
Oh, Baylor got. I didn't even check that out.
Baylor. So Audie was 100% from the field first half. They sent 2 at her, made her run up and down the floor like crazy, and I don't think she had a point in the second half.
Yeah, it only took 20 games for somebody to.
I'll tell you
team her.
what
Like,
Baylor
are we
did.
doing?
Baylor was like, "Hey, was anybody in this administration around when Louisville beat Brittany Griner? Let's do that, and we could shut her down the second half.
Yep.
And if we get the referees to fall for this, we're in great shape." Lo and behold, they did. You did a video on this. You know, we could talk about the Rockets and their little celebration or whatever. KD relished in that game-winning shot last night against Phoenix.
He was feeling good. And, you know, I just think it's the first moment that the way that he has expressed his like feeling of disloyalty, it came off very likable. It was like they kind of slandered my name and destroyed any chance that I had to stay in Houston, tried to trade me behind my back, and I made it out like I was the toxic one. And it's like, no, it feels good to get a winning shot on them.
Yeah, I didn't understand. Maybe that's not the wrong word. I didn't know that was the case with KD in Phoenix. I didn't know he felt that way. I didn't know that they, in his mind, painted the picture as if he was the problem. I always thought it was kind of.
Remember, they tried to trade him.
Yeah,
but sneaky trade during the season.
True, but it was I always, and maybe this is really what it was. But you know how athletes are taking it a different way. They're like, bro, we can't do nothing. Like, you're our number one asset. Like, we have to. This isn't working. You're our best asset. Yeah, we gotta move you. And maybe he took that as they
never said that though.
No, I mean, I'm not defending him. I'm just saying, like,
well, I mean, even if Kenny they did say that, I think that's like a really healthy way of having a conversation with a star and being like, we love you here, but you're the only thing anyone wants. And so can we explore places that you want to go? Because as much as we'd love to have you here, it's just clearly we've made some decisions that put us behind the 8 ball. We've got less picks. We've got less players. It's just we're in a tough cap situation. They've changed the CBA since you got here. And then I think he's probably totally fine with it. But they just, oh, no, we have no intention of trading Kevin Durant. And it's like, well, actually, Sham said they were thinking about moving him to Golden State at the deadline.
Yeah, he hit him with the get him out of here. Get him out of here.
Remember, Eddie Gonzalez was the one who was like, dude, no, they are trading. They're trading you. You better call someone or do something. Because if you do nothing, you're back in the Bay, like probably tomorrow.
Yeah. Also, hi. And Happy New Year. We haven't seen you in 2 weeks.
It feels like the longest it's ever gone.
It definitely is, like 2 weeks plus, you know, seeing you the Tuesday the time before. That's a long stretch.
I mean, I miss TK always, but that was a classic little break right there. The way it lined up on the days of the week.
Oh, it was iconic.
That was a school.
Because we don't have that next year. Yeah.
That was a school break. I was like, oh, they cooking.
It was
some
iconic.
Shows in like 13 days.
Yeah, it was iconic. Yeah. It was perfect.
And congratulations to you, Damian. We'll say that publicly. Damian is like fully locked down. The ring looks beautiful. The engagement just made me shed tears. I like showed my mom a photo and she was like, what's up with you? What's going on with you? And I was like, well, I just wish, I wish I would have gotten a heads up, like it's happening, And she's like, he's not going to tell you before. And I go, to be fair, no, I kind of did know, but I just didn't know like when, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And she's like, you can't know everything like right before it's going to happen.
I strongly hinted at it,
definitely.
Didn't I?
Yeah, definitely. I knew it was going to happen at some point.
That was pretty early in my thought process because we were texting about something.
Yep.
And it might be what you're going to do in New York, but I hinted at it and I had just kind of started to work the idea out, which is I wasn't even being secretive. I just hadn't fully committed to what I was doing. And yeah, you were one of the first people we told.
I remember when there was rumblings. I don't even know if you know that I know. There was rumblings at the Jacqueline.
At the
You
Jacqueline.
you showed me, but I don't know if you. It was like almost in passing, and she was there too.
Okay.
But yeah, there was rumblings then.
Oh, that might have been when I got the ring, because that was so long ago. Yeah, that might have been when I got the ring.
I
Yeah,
remember I came to have sushi when Kenny had the longest trip from Odyssey to the sushi restaurant. Like that was the longest block drive I've ever seen.
Is that All-Star?
Yeah, it was
around-
All-Star.
Yeah.
And we sat down and that's pretty early. And you're like, yeah, no, that's it. I'm marrying this girl.
Yeah, that's when I
Correct.
first told you about her.
Mhm.
Yeah, I knew.
Beautiful.
I knew. And I told Kenny, and I told you.
Love is beautiful. I'm just
Yeah.
happy for y'all.
So was watching Steve Kerr get ejected. That's fun. Like it feels like every game, someone on the Golden State Warriors is getting ejected. If it's not Draymond Green, it's Steve Kerr. And in Steve's defense, he does have a right to be a little bit pissed off about what happened last night.
Yeah.
But you could tell he was significantly more angry at the fact the Warriors were going to lose to the Clippers. And they wound up doing that. And Steph tried to save him. And the referee said, nah, we don't want you to play the last 43 seconds of this game. You fouled out. But watching the Warriors just want to destroy everything in sight is always funny.
I love well, let me say this. I'm dismayed, and as you guys know, as a lifelong
Sorry, TK. This is news. John Harbaugh's out. Yeah, Harbaugh is out. The from Adam Schefter, John Harbaugh is out as the Baltimore Ravens head coach.
Wow. How long was
Wow. Man, he had to be the second longest tenured
Probably
coach in
about
the
15.
league,
it's like
right?
him and Tomlin, right?
Yeah, now my guess is it's Tomlin and is it Kyle now?
Yeah, Kyle and Sean McVay.
Yeah, Sean McVay's probably there too. Wow. Yeah, I didn't think they
I was doing some.
I did not think they do it.
I was listening to things yesterday, podcasts, radio, and I didn't know it was this
Andy Reid.
Andy Reid. Yeah, he's been there.
Oh,
so
right.
long,
Of
yeah.
course. I forget Andy Reid has been in Kansas City for a long ass time.
I didn't know it was this contentious in Baltimore, but essentially they were like, yeah, it was Lamar or John.
Wow.
Like they weren't vibing no more, and the organization was going to have to make a decision.
Wow.
And if you're going to make a decision, you're going to go with Lamar.
Regardless, even if they would have went on a little run. I
Yeah.
thought if that's really what if the news and what the chatter was saying was actually real and accurate, and let's be honest, Harbaugh has been notoriously letting huge leads eviscerate to dust for, I don't know, 5 years at least. So it wasn't just like he was an automatically good coach, unassailable in his decision making, and he had friction with the franchise quarterback. It was there were things that you could criticize him about, and two-time MVP quarterback seemingly friction.
Where do you guys, both of you guys, stand on something like that? Because John, you're right, he has blown a bunch of double-digit leads, but he wasn't Mark Andrews last year. Yeah. He wasn't Zay Flowers. That was Flowers, right? At the goal line.
He wasn't the kicker this year.
Yeah, like he's got his faults, but he did, as a coach, for the most part, he did everything that you could do as a coach. Put him in position, and then your players got to make plays. And those are three of the you can go back to what's old boy's name before they won the Super Bowl? Lee Evans? Is that the guy who dropped it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the kicker missed the field goal in too in New England.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. Where do you guys stand on that type of stuff, though? Is it like, hey, somebody's got to pay for it, or even though like he ain't got nothing to do with those failures?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think if you ask, this is one of those, what's the national vibe versus what's the local vibe? And the local vibe is that there have been miscues, whether that's like clock management, whether that's like who he hired as OC for many years, right? Like even before Todd Monken came in, They had just issues in terms of like how the offense was being run. So yeah, I think like local fans have wanted John Harbaugh out for the almost a better half of the decade.
If you're Tom Brady, you're on the phone with him now, aren't you?
I think
Gotta
so.
be.
I think John Harbaugh's a good coach, man.
Like, so do
I
I.
think he's a really good coach.
And he's still pretty young. I don't know exactly how old he is. I'll look it up, but I don't look at John Harbaugh and go, yeah, it's about time. Like, I don't look at him like that at all. He's 60. Oh, he's 63. He looks great.
He does.
He looks absolutely terrific. 63 years old again. He's 20 years younger than the coach you just fired. I don't know. But to answer your question, it sounds like it's a little less of coaching and more of conflict. If it's Lamar or John, that's conflict. That's not coaching. Lamar is a player you acquiesce to. With all due respect, Malik Monk isn't, but you did. You know what I mean? Like you can, as certain players, you can acquiesce to, what they want. And yeah, if you're Lamar, though, be careful what you wish for. Harbaugh was a hell of a coach, and now your clock has started. So if the next coach comes in and fails, it's not just his fault; it's yours too. So Lamar's about to enter an entirely new situation now.
The crazy thing is, it sounds like some of the belief, by maybe Lamar's camp or whatever, is that John was out here putting stuff out there trying to make Lamar look bad. Whether it's stories or talking to people and stuff like that. And yeah, that's part of the reason. Like Lamar wasn't just like, I don't like this guy no more. I don't want to be here. Or it's me or him. Feels like John was doing something he wasn't cool with. They're trying to put him in a bad light, allegedly.
Snake moves.
Grass emoji, snake emoji, grass emoji. Is John Harbaugh the top candidate in this cycle right now?
Yeah.
Is he the team? Like there's seven teams now, I think. Seven or eight teams that have coaching vacancies. Are all but one calling him?
I think so. I think if you're the Giants, you say, why not? Let's go and try this. That would be an interesting play. Stays in the Northeast. Similar like style. You're not completely starting fresh. There's a lot more pieces and weapons that you can be excited about than in Las Vegas. Now, it is New York, and you're paying a different state tax than you will in Las Vegas, where it's none. The weather's a lot worse. I don't know. I think if I'm John Harbaugh, I'm probably saying I'd rather go to the NFC and a weak-ish NFC East that I think I can rebuild. And I've got Malik Neighbors. I've got a good defense. You can build that same type of Ravens culture on defense that he's been able to achieve. You've got, a decent couple of running backs in Tyrone Tracy and Cam Scatterboo. That's probably where I would put my money that he would go if they offered it to him.
Andy, sorry.
I was just gonna say, if I'm John, I'm in a different part of my career. I'm not looking to build from the ground up anymore. I want to go somewhere where I can win right away. Whereas I don't even know the candidates, but just random offensive coordinator X getting his first.
Stefanski's going to be Robert Saleh is going to be a candidate, I'm sure. I'm sure Dayball's going to get interviews.
Yeah. In my mind, I'm thinking, and Trysta brought up the Giants. I think that's potentially a really, really good job. Atlanta's a good job potentially as well. But I'm thinking about that's the high end, and the low end is the Raiders. And if I'm Saleh or Harbaugh, I don't want to go to the Raiders. I'm ready to win. But if I'm random offensive coordinator, young guy, like, yeah, it's a blank canvas in Las Vegas. I can get my quarterback.
But is it? Yeah. I mean, if like, is it why would Vegas be worse than Cleveland? Because you have, like, you got Myles Garrett over there. You have quarterback issues there. You got to decide on Shador. You got to decide on what you're going to do. But if you're the Raiders, you have Ashton Genty, you have Brock Bowers, and you have the number 1 pick in this year's draft.
So I don't know if it's worse. It's more of a blank canvas. It's almost Cleveland almost reminds me a little bit of the Kings.
Oh, dear God, we'll stay away from that.
Where you've got things you've got to clear out before you can start to work. There ain't nothing to clear out in Vegas. Like you're at ground zero.
Okay.
You got a blank canvas. You can go to work right away. And I don't know if one is better or worse.
Well, I feel like to stick with the art, you have like the tools. I feel like you have some tools in Las Vegas.
Yeah, you got 2.
And Max Crosby.
Well, I wasn't talking about Max. I was talking about the 2 guys on offense.
I was talking Bowers and Genty, but you're right. The first,
and then the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
You have the number 1 pick in the draft,
which you potentially could get in a Max Crosby trade.
Yeah.
I'm very curious how this is gonna go because, like, what are you gonna do about Geno? Like, it just feels like there's some in both of those teams, Cleveland and Las Vegas, cultural issues. With, like, you talk about the Kings, Kenny, and it's like it almost doesn't really matter what you do, who you put in. It's bound to have issues, regardless of whether Tom Brady has his fingers on it or not. Like, I don't trust that Las Vegas can just get off the ground right away, or Cleveland.
And to go back to the Andy, it feels like there's a comp here with Andy Reid in his last year in Philadelphia, but Andy was 4-12 his last year in Philadelphia.
Damn, I didn't know that.
He went 11-5 his first year in Kansas City, and he has finished under 500 in Kansas City exactly 1 time. And we just saw.
I was about to say, was it this past year?
6-11, by far, not even remotely close. By far, his worst record as the Kansas City Chiefs head coach. Yeah, that'll be interesting to follow. I don't know who the hot young coordinator is. I honestly feel like it's Robert Saleh, but I don't. Maybe there's.
I don't know, man.
Missing. I look. I didn't think Kenny said I think he's going to get hired this year. I said I don't think he is. I think it's going to be 1 more year. But now there's 7 jobs open, and I mean the 49ers did some pretty impressive things this year, and Robert Saleh deserves a lot of credit for it. But
yes,
I was a little bit closer to where you are when this conversation started, 6 weeks ago or so.
The accountability and his nature as a guy is, I think, like the highest upside is defensive coordinator only. I just don't think he's kind of Brian Flores to me. Like, yeah, you're extremely good at building defenses. And what he was able to do with multiple guys injured and his first year back, getting fired, coming in and sort of transforming it back to what we knew he did when he was the defensive coordinator a couple of years ago. But then you look back and you see what he did with the Jets. It was a disaster. Guys hated playing for him. You could tell there was friction up and down the roster. He's kind of just a jerk. And I don't think that flies in the NFL. I do not think you can be that as a head coach, as a leader, unless everything you do is win. That's the only exception, is if you're such a winner. But, like, let's look at who's winning in the NFL right now. They're players, coaches who are really, really smart. Right? Sean McVay, like a whiz kid, but everybody likes playing for him. He's got a great communication style. People love him. Ben Johnson comes in. He's a whiz kid, but you can tell, like, highly affable. Andy Reid, affable. Like, the list goes on. And, like, what jerk head coaches, even the young David Canales, nice guy, comes in, egghead, transforms things in Carolina. Like, I don't know who's proving that you can be a jerk and win in this league right now as a head coach.
That reminds me a little bit of something I heard from Kyle Shanahan or about Kyle Shanahan. And they were talking about, there are 2 examples as to why players love Kyle Shanahan, love him. And outside of, we have a caller, TC, who just thinks he's the worst. And he's like the only person that I can ever find who could be like, Kyle Shanahan is bad. Like everybody loves him, but they I think it was Matt Mayoko mentioned Kyle. If you like pay attention to the play calling and the snap counts, for about 2 weeks, he was trying to get Kendrick Bourne his catches so he gets his incentive. Like Kendrick Bourne was nowhere to be found for like 5 weeks, and then it was like, oh dang, he's 74 yards from getting $500,000. And for the next 2 weeks, like, oh, he's got targets, he's got catches. Like, that's a Kyle Shanahan. Juwan Jennings got like $2.5 million for playing a certain percentage of snaps.
Mhm.
And it was like, yeah, they needed him too, but Kyle made sure, like, yeah, you're getting the snaps, you're getting your money. And it's little stuff like that I think you're talking about, Trysta, where it doesn't have to be super rah-rah, but these guys play for him because they know on the field and off the field, he got their back. And that might be something Robert Sala's got to learn.
Be frank, Robert Saleh tossed a lot of players underneath the bus when he was Jets head coach in the media. And New York is not the best place to do that. The Jets, as a losing organization for as long as they have been with that media, was like rabid, and that was on a very big stage. It's not like he did that, coaching the Jacksonville Jaguars. No shade to them. But when you do that in New York, I think that stink sticks with you.
What do you think is going to happen this weekend when the playoffs get underway? Do you have any grasp of this NFL season and the teams in the postseason?
It's so wide open. Isn't that kind of great? We have
awesome. Yeah.
We have just no idea. I think the Rams are going to make the Super Bowl. That's the only real prediction that I have. If they can get their stuff together on the defensive end, and their safety is the captain of the defense, is just going to come back this weekend, and he's been out since like week 11. And I want to say, in terms of like all the defensive metrics, as soon as he went out, really the Rams fell off of a cliff. He dislocated his elbow, and now I'm like curious, how's his tackling going to be? He was their run stopper. They're able to play 5 DBs and really like just swarm on teams. He stops the run. Everybody on the backside stops the pass. And the Rams were this monster. Jared Verse was able to get after the quarterback, and it felt like they were, you just couldn't do anything. He goes down and they become a sieve, and they've got to win games like the Niners have had to win games by scoring 40. So but outside of that, like one domino, I really think that this Rams team has every bit of what you need to win a Super Bowl, and probably the most complete team in the league with the least amount of question marks. In the AFC, though, man, I know nothing.
I don't either.
You know what the great part about that is? I agree with everything Trysta just said. Everything. Before the year started, I was like, this team's cooked. They're lying about Matt Stafford. There's something clearly wrong with Matt Stafford, and they won't tell us what it is. This man is not going to survive. And for me, he's the MVP. So that I didn't write it on the board, but that was a tough thought process when this season started.
It was.
You guys going to beat Indiana?
I need it. If we can go back to the Natty and play Miami and play Mario Cristobal, who discarded us.
Oh, I forgot. That's going to be fire if that
happens. Oh, my God. Like, in Miami, it will be, I'll go. We'll just do the whole thing. The Meadowlark folks and I are going to beef, square off metaphorically. So I hope so. I think it's really hard to beat a team twice in the same season. You saw with Oregon beating Ohio State in week 3 or 4 last year when we went undefeated and then they like smacked us. That's what I'm hoping. But Indiana looks so disciplined, don't they? They just move the chains. Like every single thing they do is 3-4 yards. They just chew up so much damn clock. You're like, I don't have the ball ever. If you go 3 and out against Indiana, you're cooked. You're cooked.
Have you enjoyed this college football playoff?
It's been okay.
It
It's
got
not
better
been-
last. The quarterfinal was pretty good.
I'd
First
say
round was-
Ole Miss, Georgia was like
Yeah.
one of the best. This kid
I still
Chambliss,
think the subplot to Lane Kiffin being escorted
Incredible.
out like the little Kim Mulkey puppy dog at the basketball game was tremendous.
that was
yes.
That was
And
the
I think-
highlight of that game.
The one thing that has aligned us as a nation is rooting for Ole Miss post Lane Kiffin.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That's been tremendous. The kid Chambliss came out of nowhere, was doing one-legged back throws down cross field for a tutty. You're just like, oh my goodness gracious. It could have set up for a Carson Beck versus Georgia rematch. Like, there's just so many storylines that I really like.
The Miami
Indiana
Ohio
and-
State game was good.
It
That
was. And Kurt Signetti, he's already, I think, like a top 3 coach in all of college football.
Well, and that game highlighted why Ryan Day sucks.
Sucks.
He made so many bad decisions in that game. It's like,
But his little nipple ring.
all right.
But root for us. Could you guys root for us?
Yeah, I'm not trying to see Indiana
I'm
do
with
that.
it. I root
I
for
like
TK's
Indiana,
happiness. I
bro.
don't care nothing
Thank
about
you. Thank you.
TK,
But Indiana looks really good.
We look good. If
If you
we can
do-
beat Indiana, I think we can beat Miami.
If you do get to the national championship game and it's against the U, you got to do something with Michael Irvin.
Oh, have to. Gotta figure it out. Text Cam and be like, hey, we need to. I'm bringing a belt. That was the first thing I thought that went through my mind.
They said they had a clip of I just saw the clock. My fault, man.
Oh, we're good. It's fine. There's no clocks with TK. We were
no clock. Yeah, there was a video of Michael Irvin on the sidelines, and he's talking. He's like, "Yeah, this is what we do. These boys, they not ready." Like game's still kind of going on. He's like, "Yeah, this is just what we do. We do everything we got to do." Da, 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 da. Like he's just talking, like going off or whatever. And then the caption for the video was like, "This is even more hilarious when you realize he's talking to nobody. He's just talking in general." Michael Irvin is a star in these playoffs.
Yeah, he's been hysterical. Like, I think one of the most funny things has been like watching the ride of Michael Irvin through this like Miami season. Yeah, I think the home crowd will be very excited for Miami if they end up going to the championship. This will be my third college football championship that I will have gone to, and every time we've obviously lost. So I'm hoping maybe 3 times is a charm.
The Raiders have the number 1 overall pick in the draft. Should they take your quarterback?
Dante?
Mm-mm.
No.
I like Dante a little better than Mendoza.
I don't like either one of these quarterbacks.
Well,
at the
that's
next level.
at the core of all.
Because it's
That's
the
actually
Raiders
at
and
the core of
Jets,
all of
right?
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Just
actually
wouldn't.
That's
TK
1 and 2. Like those, they're taking quarterbacks.
But TK hit the nail on the head for me. I don't like either one of them to be like, "Hey, I'm building my franchise around this guy." But the thing says you got to take a quarterback. Like that's the rule a lot of time. But I don't think both of them are bad. I just don't think they're like these franchise guys.
Listen, we've had 1 year of Dante. 1. That's enough for us. We just 12 games, we're good to go. We've seen him under pressure. He looked very pedestrian at times against Indiana. He looked very young when we played Penn State at times. If he has a clean pocket, he can make the throws. But that is the case for a lot of quarterbacks. And the pocket's not going to be clean when you play for the Raiders, who has one of the worst offensive lines in history.
No.
Do the Raiders have the balls to not draft a quarterback?
I try to trade it. I try to trade it.
Trade that pick.
That's what I try to do.
But usually you're trading up to get a quarterback. So you'd have to find someone who loves one of those 2 players.
First off the top of my head, I thought about the Dolphins.
Get to it at Vegas.
You're
I want the picks. I want the
yeah, I was going to
picks.
say you're not trading for Tua, are
Yeah, I
you?
want the picks.
I mean, you want the picks, but I also think Tua will be on the move. I think we know he's a warm weather quarterback. He's probably a great, like you want him in a dome. Like this is going to be a familiar environment, like in terms of not him going to an outdoor arena from moving on from Miami. I don't know who's going to be the next Daniel Jones that's going to come in and have the right system and light up the league. Because I think it's more and more clear to me that processing speed, and that's why all these older quarterbacks are coming in and still having success, even though they're coughing dust. Yes, they're able to dissect the defense faster than just going like read 1, read 2, read 3.
You know what the killer is, though, with trying to trade it? Is usually if you're trying to trade it, you need somebody to say, hey, I need that guy. I've got to go get that guy. And I don't believe anybody looks at Mendoza or Moore and says, I have to have him. So I don't know if you can trade it as easily as
there has to be a want.
Right.
Unless you're John Lynch and you just look at Chicago like, no, go ahead. No, we're definitely taking Mitch Trubisky. No, go ahead. Come on. Right. I got you. I'll do you a favor.
And not just trade up, but you got to give up a lot. Like you've got to give up the next 2 first-round picks, it feels like. Who's doing that for Mendoza?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's had a hell of a year. I don't want to diminish the year that either one of those guys had.
Yeah, he's really good. I like Dante too, but I don't know if I'd give up the farm for him.
Could you trade back to like, I don't know, 15 or 11 for somebody else who's desperate?
Well, Miami is 11. Not to go back to that conversation.
There we go.
But Miami is 11, and do they love either one of those quarterbacks?
I think there's like a Mike McDaniel, Fernando Mendoza, like brain meld. I could see them really vibing.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, like they're both kind of quirky and like neurodivergent in their own way.
They're reading the playbook over a hookah.
Yes. They're like both kind of like squinting and doing weird stuff with their facial expressions. And you're like, oh yeah, these guys are a match made in heaven. And I don't think Mendoza has the level of ego that clearly Tua has, right? Like he became quite fickle and a little bit irritable in a way that I don't think Mendoza's just like hyped, stoked about everything. You know what I mean? So I think that would be a good fit. I like Chambliss. I saw, like I said, this is 12 games. You got what you needed to see out of Dante Moore. I got what I needed to see out of Chambliss in that one game.
He's coming back though.
They're declining his desire to come back.
Oh, they're not going to grant the eligibility.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so if that's the case, I like him in terms of upside. Yeah. He does things that like you just rarely see on a football field.
He doesn't feel very tall though, but he's good. He's really good.
I didn't take him. He's not tall.
Well, I'm looking at Bryce Young on Saturday, and I'm like,
no Trae Young trade talk. Wild.
Well, that's where we were going next. Okay. Like I wanted to wrap this part up. We still have a few minutes. Okay. And I was going to ask you why are we here? Like, why is Atlanta out of the Trae Young business? And why does it feel like Trae Young won't see the money that he wants and might have difficulty nailing down a new home?
I think once you break it down, you kind of wonder why it hasn't happened sooner, really. So I heard a story last night about Trae, that when Landry Fields was the GM or whatever role he was like classified as VP or whatever, he would try, and this has, been the case for other folks in charge. And I have no idea what's going on with Anzi Salah and Bryson Graham and how that relationship with Trae is. I think that's a little different because those guys are just different dudes. But so Landry Fields is trying to get him to be a better leader, right? Hey, like, we need you to step up. We just lost by this. And like, we need your voice more present in the locker room. Like, we need more accountability. And he's taking off his jersey, throws the jersey his way and cusses him smooth the F out, calling him all kinds of obscenities. You ain't got to talk to me like this. F this. N-word that, like coming at him hard, very dismissive, very aggressive. And it's like, that was a very common thing that I heard happen when people would want to hold Trae Young to account as the superstar. I don't think he's a guy and his personality that has what it takes to be what you need inside of someone to be a franchise player. Like Tyrese Halliburton, I know no shade, like no like scars and wounds, but from what I hear, he's involved in every step of the process in terms of like player acquisitions, re-signing, how much should we pay this guy? Like, what do we think about him in terms of how he's gelling, how vocal he is as a leader, involved almost like another member of the front office. Trae Young can't even do his damn job, let alone be a franchise guy, which is kind of what's required if you're getting paid $50 million a year. So that's the personality element. Number two in the personality department, cannot deal and like coexist with other, even close to stars. Him and DeJounte Murray didn't get along. Anytime he was challenged from an ego standpoint, he became like very boisterous and had the like, you know, peeing contest kind of stuff, measuring contest type of stuff. So I think number two, guys don't like playing with him for that reason. And then he's never really interested in passing the ball first. Like these lobs are counters. Like the lob to Capella is really just keeping the floater from, you know, intact in terms of being an option. Guys don't feel like they're his first, second, or third option. That's hard to play with. And then like fourth, he doesn't play defense and he's undersized. So, I mean, really outside of just the cotton candy stats, why would anyone want Trae Young?
I feel like a lot of outside the Landry Fields story, that feels pretty like important. And those are stories we might not always be privy to. That feels very important in the process of potentially acquiring a player like him. But like there's cotton candy stat players that you're looking for. Like what do we want? We want to, Casey said this perfectly earlier. General managers are looking for the perfect player, and the perfect player in the NBA probably doesn't exist. And if it does, there's less than 4 of them. And so it's like, what are
available?
Right. They never will be. So like, what are you looking for in a player? Well,
not a cancer. Somebody who's just not a cancer.
So that's different. Like if Trae Young has an impact on that locker room, that's certainly probable. That's certainly creates a problem. But I'd also ask if a change in scenery doesn't help.
It could. I don't know.
That's a question I'm asking. Like if I run a franchise, that's a question I'm asking.
And I would say, and I said this to somebody last night when I was at the Utah game. I was like, if I know this story, doesn't every other GM know these stories?
Yeah, for sure.
And why, if you know this about how he interacted and treated essentially his superiors, right? His bosses, guys that are paying his checks and can trade him at any time. Like, do we think this is a one-off? Do you think he just didn't respect Landry Fields? And why do we think our organization is fit to change him? And if I'm Washington, I made a video because I'm a pro Atlanta apologist. Like I like those guys. So I want Trae Young up out of there. So I'm like, oh yeah, great job, Washington. Thumbs up. Like go get Trae Young. He has everything that you want in a franchise star. But the truth is, like, you think it's Washington that's a fertile ground to turn a player from this into a model NBA player? Jordan Poole devolved into the depths of hell after he went to Washington. Everybody who I spoke to that was around him said that he became like more of a losing culture player there than he ever was in Golden State. So I'm not saying Atlanta's the best culture, but I certainly know that the Wizards have a much worse culture.
All right, TK, we love you. Welcome back.
Love you.
It was a long 2 weeks. Happy we back to normal. Go Ducks, I guess.
Go Ducks.
All
See
right.
y'all. Love you.
Thanks, TK.
Take care, TK.
That's Trysta Krick right there. We'll come back. Jason Jones still to join.